Article 400 of the National Electrical Code does not specifically prohibit the use of wire mold to sleeve a neon sign cord. However, the general rule is that raceways are not intended for flexible cords unless specifically permitted by the National Electrical Code. In this case, there is no such exception for neon sign cords in Article 400. Therefore, informing the customer that the cord could not be sleeved in wire mold was correct. Romex or NM cable is permitted in raceways because it is a type NM cable, which is specifically recognized by the National Electrical Code for use in raceways. Type NM cable has a non-metallic sheathing that provides mechanical protection and insulation, making it suitable for concealed installations within raceways. In contrast, a neon sign cord is a flexible cord with a thin insulation layer and may not have the same level of protection as type NM cable. Therefore, it is not permitted to be installed in raceways unless it is specifically allowed by the National Electrical Code. It is important to note that the National Electrical Code does not apply outside of the United States. However, many countries use the National Electrical Code as a basis for their own electrical codes. When working on electrical installations, it is essential to understand the applicable codes and regulations. Firstly, always consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code, as codes can change between editions. Secondly, refer to local amendments, as local jurisdictions can modify the code. Thirdly, ensure proper training and certification. Electrical work should be performed by qualified individuals who have received appropriate training and certification. Flexible cords, such as those used for neon signs, have specific limitations regarding their use in raceways. The primary reason for these limitations is that flexible cords are not designed to withstand the mechanical stresses and environmental conditions typically encountered within raceways. Flexible cords generally have thinner insulation and less robust construction compared to cables like type NM, making them more susceptible to damage when pulled through or subjected to the confines of a raceway. The National Electrical Code aims to ensure electrical safety by restricting the use of flexible cords in applications where they could be compromised. Type NM cable, commonly known as Romex, is specifically designed for residential wiring and is permitted in raceways under certain conditions. The non-metallic sheathing of type NM cable provides a level of mechanical protection and insulation that makes it suitable for installation within raceways. Additionally, type NM cable is typically secured within the raceway to prevent movement and abrasion, further enhancing its safety and reliability. Article 334 of the National Electrical Code covers type NM, type NMC, and type NMS cables. Section 334.10, Uses Permitted, outlines where these cables can be installed. It's essential to consult this section for specific details regarding permitted uses and any limitations. Section 334.12, Uses Not Permitted, lists locations and situations where type NM, type NMC, and type NMS cables are prohibited. For example, these cables cannot be used in wet or damp locations unless they are specifically identified for such use. They also cannot be exposed to physical damage. When installing type NM cable in a raceway, it is important to follow the guidelines outlined in Article 334 and other applicable sections of the National Electrical Code. The raceway must be properly sized to accommodate the cable without causing damage to the insulation. Additionally, the cable must be supported and secured within the raceway to prevent movement and strain. It's important to use appropriate fittings and connectors to ensure a secure and reliable connection between the raceway and the cable. Incorrect installation can lead to electrical hazards and code violations. In general, the National Electrical Code restricts the use of flexible cords in raceways unless specifically permitted. This restriction is based on the design and construction of flexible cords, which are not intended for the mechanical stresses and environmental conditions typically found within raceways. The National Electrical Code defines a flexible cord as a cable that is designed to be flexible and used for connecting portable appliances or equipment to a power source. Flexible cords are typically constructed with stranded conductors in a flexible outer jacket. The insulation on the conductors is generally thinner than that used on built-in wire, and the overall construction is less robust. Because of these factors, flexible cords are more susceptible to damage when installed in raceways. The National Electrical Code provides specific requirements for the installation of flexible cords, including limitations on their length, support, and use in certain locations. These requirements are intended to ensure that flexible cords are used safely and do not pose a fire or electrical shock hazard. There are some exceptions to the general rule that flexible cords are not permitted in raceways. For example, Section 400.7 of the National Electrical Code allows the use of flexible cords in raceways under certain conditions, such as when they are used to connect equipment that requires movement or adjustment. However, these exceptions are limited and must be carefully followed to ensure compliance with the code. When installing electrical wiring, it is important to choose the right type of cable or conductor for the application. Type NM cable is a common choice for residential wiring because it is relatively inexpensive and easy to install. However, it is not suitable for all applications. For example, Type NM cable cannot be used in wet or damp locations or in areas where it is subject to physical damage. In these situations, other types of cable, such as Type UF or Type MC, may be more appropriate. When in doubt, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician to determine the best type of wiring for the specific application. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of rules and regulations that govern the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. It is important to understand and follow the National Electrical Code to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the safety of people and property. The National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest edition. The National Electrical Code is not a law, but it is widely adopted by state and local jurisdictions. In many areas, electrical installations must comply with the National Electrical Code to be considered safe and legal. The National Electrical Code is developed by the National Fire Protection Association, a non-profit organization that works to reduce the risk of fire and other hazards. The National Fire Protection Association brings together experts from various fields, including electrical engineering, fire safety, and construction, to develop and maintain the National Electrical Code. The National Electrical Code covers a wide range of topics related to electrical safety, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The National Electrical Code also includes specific requirements for different types of occupancies, such as residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. The National Electrical Code is organized into chapters, articles, and sections. Each section of the National Electrical Code addresses a specific aspect of electrical safety. To use the National Electrical Code effectively, it is important to understand its organization and how to find the information you need. The National Electrical Code includes an index that can be used to locate specific topics or keywords. The National Electrical Code also includes tables and figures that provide additional information and guidance. The National Electrical Code is a valuable resource for electricians, engineers, inspectors, and anyone else who is involved in the design, installation, or maintenance of electrical systems. By understanding and following the National Electrical Code, you can help to ensure the safety of people and property. It's crucial to remember that electrical codes are in place to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Violations of these codes can lead to fires, electrical shocks, and other serious consequences. Therefore, it's essential to take electrical safety seriously and to follow all applicable codes and regulations. When working with electricity, always follow safe work practices, such as de-energizing circuits before working on them, using appropriate personal protective equipment, and testing circuits to ensure they are de-energized. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is best to hire a licensed electrician who has the knowledge and experience to do the job safely and correctly. Electrical work can be dangerous, but by following safe work practices and adhering to electrical codes, you can minimize the risks and ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Always prioritize safety and seek professional assistance when needed. Proper electrical installations not only protect lives and property, but also contribute to the overall efficiency and reliability of electrical systems. Well-maintained electrical systems can reduce energy consumption, minimize downtime, and prevent costly repairs. By investing in quality electrical work and following best practices, you can ensure a safe, efficient, and reliable electrical system for your home or business. Understanding the specific requirements for flexible cords and cables is a critical aspect of electrical safety. Flexible cords are designed for specific purposes, such as connecting portable appliances, and they have limitations regarding their use in raceways and other applications. Cables like Type NM are designed for general wiring purposes and have different requirements regarding their installation and use. By understanding the differences between these types of wiring and following the applicable codes and regulations, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. The National Electrical Code is a living document that is constantly evolving to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. It's important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and to understand how these changes affect your work. Continuing education and training are essential for electricians and other electrical professionals to stay current with the National Electrical Code and to maintain their skills and knowledge. There are many resources available for electrical education and training, including online courses, classroom instruction, and apprenticeship programs. By investing in your education and training, you can enhance your career prospects and improve your ability to perform safe and reliable electrical work. Remember to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector if you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety or code compliance. They can provide valuable guidance and ensure that your electrical system is installed and maintained according to the highest standards of safety. In conclusion, understanding the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 400 regarding flexible cords and the permitted uses of Romex in raceways, is crucial for ensuring electrical safety. Adhering to these regulations protects against potential hazards and ensures compliance with industry standards. Always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals for any electrical work.